Hi, Nicole. I want to show you about this to tell you how I would, do this. Here we go. This is what you have put here. I will copy this and put it here. And I will put, suppose, this 300 here that you drive every month and the $2 per gallon in here. Then I come here and I will put my formula to see how I can do. I will put equal sign, and then I would say this number, of course you wanted the parentheses first, divided by this number, which means when we divide 300 by 10, we get 30. That means 30 gallons you use to go to work every month. We close the parentheses and then we multiply it by 2. And when I click enter, that will be $60. In your case, if you look at here, if I click here, you see that you have written 300 divided by 10 minus 2. You forgot to put multiplied by, and that's why you got 28. And also on this one, if you look at here, you have written 300 divided by 2. You have to close your parentheses in here rather than, because if the Excel will multiply 20 and 2 together, make it 40. You want to close the parentheses and say 300 divided by 20 first and then times 2. Therefore, I come here, if you look at here, I say A26 divided by means 300 divided by 10, which means 30 times this number. And then for this one, when I come here, I can put again my equal sign. I open my parentheses. I say this number divided by this number. I close the parentheses, and then I say times this number. And then, do you remember I said someday we can put the dollar sign? I can put, and then I can copy my formula. That way I don't need to write it for everyone. I click here, I put my dollar sign here, and I put my dollar sign here to say that this number is fixed on this box. And then this number is also fixed. That is A27. Therefore, I put a dollar sign here and a dollar sign here. I still get the same number in here, but when I copy it, it knows that it has to put it in a fixed format, which means that if you drive this car, it will cost you $60 a month because 300 miles divided by 10, that is 30 gallons you use for this car, and it will cost you $60. Anyhow, the best deal for you is to drive this car, and therefore here, as you see, the reason I showed you here is because when I click here, I see you have written 300 divided. This is correct, 300 divided by 10. You had to close the parentheses here and then use multiply. Let me show you. I close the parentheses here, and then I take this negative sign from here and say times 2. And then I get rid of this parenthesis. With the meaning of it is that you have to divide these two first. And that's why you put them into parentheses to get the 30, and then you multiply it by 2. If I click enter, it will give me $60, hopefully. There it is. Oops, I didn't need to have a parenthesis at the end here. Means that this parenthesis is supposed to be here. And then I click enter, and that's 60. Now I know that if I drag it all the way through here, it will be a kind of it doesn't understand. Let's see. See, it made a mistake. I close this, and then I come here. rather than writing 300 here, I click here, let the formula takes care of it. Rather than times 2, I click here, let the formula takes care of it. And then I come here, as you see, if I click enter, I still get 60. But this is a correct formula. Then I will, I meant to, here it is, 826, which is this number, divided by this number, which is 300 divided by 10 is 30, times the 827, which is this $2. Therefore, you see, these are called cell reference. Rather than I type 300, I put the cell reference. And then by doing so, I can put my dollar sign. By putting this dollar sign, I am telling that these two numbers are always fixed. I put a dollar sign before A and after A. That means it fixes, it always looks at this absolute value, they call it. And also it looks at, I put before A and after A. And then I click enter, that's still 60. But when I copy the formula, it will take care of everything correctly. Oops, looks like there was a mistake somewhere. Let me see. This is $60, okay. Dollar A, okay. 826, that is correct. That is 300. And then times 827, that is correct. Times 827, that is correct. And divided by 10. Oh, rather than this 10, this is supposed to be a cell reference. By cell reference is that when I come, instead of typing 10, I click here, B2, and I click enter. Now you will see everything has a cell reference. 826, this number, divided by B2 means divided by this number, that gives you 30, and then multiplied by this number, and that's where. Now if I copy the formula, everything will be correct and the formula takes care of it. Just wanted to show you. I'm going to give you full grade for this one because you made the effort to do this assignment. Therefore, I'll give you full grade, but just I wanted you to understand how I would solve this.